would share with you about swine flu. Now, in Mexico, the swine flu is very deadly. But it appears that people that take the swine flu away from Mexico, as long as they're not Mexican, the boy who died in Texas was Mexican, right? He was a Mexican child who had left Mexico. The rest of the people who take it away from Mexico don't have a very bad strain. I would imagine, now I have no basis in this, don't go by what I say, but I would think that if you get the swine flu when it's mild, when you aren't going to die from it, you would build up an immunity so that when it mutates and becomes virulent and deadly, that you might have some immunity to it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but they say that when the Spanish flu started, it was mild. It wasn't deadly, but it became deadly. And it appears that that's what's happening in the rest of the world, that as people visit Mexico and come home, boy, a lot of people visit Mexico, don't they? A friend of mine lives near Listowel, Ontario, and 4 people came home from Listowel, or from Mexico, and they think that they may have them. And another friend of mine lives in a place in Connecticut, and now there's a few cases that could be there. People are kind of sick. And they had gone to Mexico. It's interesting to see how much of the world goes to Mexico. I mean, right now it's very small, but people from all over the world. When I was in Mexico City, waiting in the when you arrive in Mexico, it seems like anywhere you go in Mexico, you have to stop in Mexico City, but that might not be true for Cancun. No, I think you just go straight to Cancun. But if you're going to other places in Mexico, you usually have to change flights in Mexico City. And Mexico City Airport, when I arrived there were, I think it was 900 people that were waiting in the airport to go through immigration or customs. 900 people. And I could tell that because it was 9 across and 100 people deep was the line. So that's where I figured the 900 from. Anyway, also Mexicans have a way of pressing close together. Oh, and I was going to say about those people that were waiting in the airport to get into Mexico, they were from all over the world. It was very interesting to strike up conversations with those standing around me. They had come from many different places, all over the world, for different reasons. Anyway, another thing I was going to say about Mexico is I just noticed that I said oh, there, I did it again. Now I'm going to notice, maybe for a minute or two. It's like a placeholder. It keeps you with me until I come up with what I'm going to say next. What am I going to say next? Oh, yes. Mexico and pressing forward. I was a travel writer in Mexico, and was in Acapulco at the Tianguis, which is the travel trade fair. So everybody in Mexico in the travel industry who has something that they want to market goes to that. And buyers go to it and they buy. And so like you'll have a tour guide who will go and or tour operator. He will go and he will buy up seats on airplanes, and he will buy cruises or hotel rooms. So he will go in and he'll buy like 1,000 hotel room spots or 1,000 spots, and then he'll divide them up throughout whatever he needs. Anyway, so this is how that all works. But anyway, so because it's all the travel trade media, it was a few hundred people from around the world that were journalists that were there to record the goings on. We had the ministry of the different, it's the United States of Mexico. Did you realize it's called that? When they introduced President Vicente Fox, well, first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. We were going to go in, the people, photographers had to get a little ticket, and they gave you the little ticket, and then you all lined up in this sort of a mash of people that were going to go in and film Vicente Fox. And then the rest of them that weren't going to take pictures were just going to fill the room. So, as we were waiting to get in, we were all lined up, or just, lined up, I would say. It was about 2 or 3 across, waiting to go in the door. Well, by the time the doors opened, half an hour later, people had pressed together so that they were touching, shoulders touching everywhere. It was amazing how the crowd just was pushing forward, even though the door was closed. But I think this is a Mexican culture thing, that they do that. They just press right together, which is not very good for diseases, is it? No. Anyway, other than that, Mexican people are extremely clean. Have you ever been to Mexico and watched the children, the school children? They have these white shirts, which cost a pretty little bundle for these people in Mexico that may not have money. People in the countryside which don't have money. People in the city have more money. It's just like cities here. Well, a few differences. How am I doing this time? Oh, I'm okay. Anyway, so these people in Mexico, the children that are going to school, they all have their white shirts on and their black trousers or black skirts. They wear uniforms, right? Excuse me. And those uniforms are immaculate. Here you have, at the end of the day, children going home, and they are wearing immaculate clothing, unbelievably clean. Couldn't believe it. No children here that are that age coming home from school are so perfectly clean. I mean, you may send your children looking that good picture day, but it doesn't last. By the time they're coming home, they played in the playground and they've scuffed themselves up a bit, slid on the grass in playing baseball or something. Well, those Mexican children come home looking as pristine as when they left. And Mexican girls don't wear their hair down. They have it all pulled back very tightly. It's all pulled back and extremely neat. I don't think they're going to go for the messy style, the partly clean combed hair where it's the latest fad. Just thinking about Lemonette and where she drives in her car. She always takes her videos in her car. She doesn't take videos in the house or in the yard or anything. They're always in her car. She's got her camera attached to the rear view mirror, and she talks to the mirror or to the camera as she drives. I think it's kind of neat. It's her trademark. She has this license plate somebody bought her that has this red and black YouTube symbol thing. The black U and then the white tube inside of the red block. And Lemonette. It says on her license plate, it's lemonette.com or something. I don't know. YouTube. You know how it is. Anyway, it's YouTube Lemonette. I thought that was pretty cute. Somebody sent her that. And I wonder where you can get something like that. I've never seen things for sale on YouTube. My goodness, this man ahead of me